Keep watching as I show you how 3 of our students added a combined $7,000 to their trading account in 8 trading days. Hello, it's Darren here from Safety in the Market. I'm going to talk you through our October trades, I should say, with our soybean breakout. And then we'll have a quick look at our coffee trade from last month. So we've been discussing soybeans at Safety in the Market. I put out a video about the channel that it's been in for the last 12 months and how we could possibly trade that channel. So it was really pleasing for me to see 3 students get in touch individually, unbeknown to each other, about the trades they were taking on soybeans recently. So let's dive in and have a look. That's soybeans over the last 12 months in front of you there, and its channel with the pink lines at the top and the bottom. And this was our first student, and she'd noted the trend lines here at the top sliding down and at the bottom, creating what is known in the industry as a pennant. And she'd used one of our ranges that we like to call an ABC trade, and I think very bravely got in at the breaking of the top of this bar before we broke out of the pennant. I say brave because we could have maybe bounced off the top of this trend line here and come back inside. But I guess she's thinking if we are going to break up through this bar here, then it's going to be a positive move and a strong move out of this enclosure. And as we can see, the market starts gapping up, which is always a sign of strength. And because she's expecting a strong move out of this pennant area here, that she's gone for a 200% repeat of that range, which she hit on, I believe, Thursday last week. Now, she was looking for a reward here of 63.25. She risked 11, which would have been the size of this red bar here. And that gave her a reward to risk ratio of 5.75. Okay, so it's really good to watch that in action, and always great to get emails like that from our students. Now, student number 2. Now, this guy was, I guess, waiting to see if we could break out of this trend line. We'd also released a video on the closers rule that we use, that David Bowden has taught us, and in fact the openers rule, which the 3rd student used for this particular trade. So our student here, he got in at the close of this day, and he would use the range of these bars in the last 60 days to work out his stop loss, which would have been 4.5 points below his entry. And as you can see, the following day started heading downwards, but didn't quite stop him out, luckily. Okay, so that's the rules looking after him. And as we can see, the market shot up afterwards. He used this range here as a guide, and he took his 150% of that range up here. If we look at this bar, that's just short of the blue line. But then the following trading day took him through that blue line, and he got to his profit target. He was looking for 72 points there with a risk of 4.5, which gave him a fantastic reward to risk ratio of 16:1. So he was very happy there with his result, and well done there. That was the closers trade. And our 3rd student, she'd used the openers trade. She'd missed all of this action, which happens, okay? She'd noted the gap here, and she was ready and waiting for this openers rule because she'd been studying that recent course. And she was able to get in, not quite at the open, just a little bit above. It's sometimes very hard to get in at the actual open because the market can move around fairly quickly. And she had, or has, a profit target of 11.38, and she was just squaring this range up to its 400% up the top. And I will show you in a second how we're going currently. Now, her reward, she was looking for 84. She risked 9.5. So she's put her stop because of this gap. Okay, a lot of our students will use a gap like that to protect their stop loss. So her stop loss would be underneath that gap, just below the high of that small bar there, and that would be a risk of 9.5. So that gave her a reward to risk ratio of 8.8. Now, she was looking for 1138, and as of this morning, soybeans was hovering around 1134. It had got to 1135 yesterday. So hopefully she will get to her profit target, or maybe she has acted already. And as you can see, I had a little milestone there at 1134, and she may have jumped ship there and taken her profits. All right, but just wonderful to see 3 students using our coursework to their advantage and getting the results they deserve. I've put the account size in brackets because I don't know what their account size is. I just like to use $5,000 as a base for these examples. We'd always risk no more than 5%, which would be $250. So our student 1 with her ABC trade would have got a 5-to-1. I've rounded these ratios down. She had 5.75, so I just round them down, and she would have taken in $1,250 at least there. Profit. And then with the closers trade, 16-to-1 reward to risk ratio, giving him $4,000. And then our last openers trade, an 8-to-1 at least result there. And I've put the $2,000 in brackets because, as we know, she's still a couple of points short of that profit target. So we can't exactly say that she got there. All right, so well done. Fantastic to see the students work in the market there to their advantage. We're going to quickly take you back to last month. This is where I left you with our coffee trade, where we were long down here around the 350 mark at the open. We had our small risk because of that openers trade, and our target was up here 424. And this was the last bar that we looked at last month. So I just want to take you through. That was our entry. That was that update last month. That's where we were at. And then on the 22nd of October, we hit our target of 424 there. So happy days for that September trade on coffee. We were looking for 72 points. The initial risk was 3 points. That's a 24-to-1 reward to risk ratio. There's our standard $5,000 account, and our reward was $6,000. So we would have doubled that account at least, and that took 4 weeks, 21 trading days. Brilliant. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in again. We'll see you in November. If you'd like to learn how you can replicate these trades, follow the link below to find out more about the Active Trader program, the course that will teach you how to consistently take 10-to-1 reward to risk trades.